Life force is ready to speak clear. Hello. Come on now. Did you think that's how I start my videos? Hi guys, it's Morgan. What's going on? I am coming to you live after a very deep healing sesh, which finalized with a deep insight that I felt as if I didn't get on here and talk about. Who would, you know? Who would? It was a God-given insight on healing, but more so on suppression and expression. I've had a new understanding of healing after watching a fasting documentary, I'll put it here, and listening to this guy talking about fasting, and I'm on a fast today. And I've been fasting through, you know, my experience, through my healing journey, through my spiritual journey. I've fasted. I've always found it helpful. I always found it something of benefit. And fasting to me has changed meaning through my years. In the beginning, I used to just do it for weight loss. As I've gotten more spiritual and came to know truth more, I've done it for purification purposes and for reaching higher spiritual states, more mystical states. Just being able to tap in on a deeper level has given me enough to move forward. But now, when I started to see fasting from a healing perspective of clearing out suppression in the body, I've had to express to myself that if I do not express these things out of me, I am going to keep them jabbed and locked and stuck. And that's on all levels. So physical, the gross, mucky foods, the sugars and stuff, has to come out of me. But mostly emotional, where to me, I'm having these emotional experiences. Oh my god, this feels so good. And so look, even physical, I'm gonna do a massage today too, just to purify even more, because I'm on my fast. Where the emotional side of things is so interconnected to the body. I have never recognized that if I suppressed emotions just through life, because you have to suppress. This is where my taboo shadow side is going to come out, because I'm going to tell you right now, you have to suppress. You have to. There's no option. If you are always expressing emotions, you're not going to be able to survive properly in this world. It's just inevitable. And I don't know if that will change as I grow older and become more nuanced with where I use my expression and where my emotions are let go of, but what I've realized is that through life, the reason I have suppressed emotions in my body and stuck things in my body is because I had to be that way in order to get through. I had to suppress this feeling, or I couldn't say it because of this, this, and this. So to me, that is required. And because our world is set up to be that way, you have to be rational and logical, you are not able to be expressive all the time. So there is a place. What I mean is there's a place for suppression in your life and in human experience. Once you get past this understanding, you get to expression, and expression is necessary as well. If you are too suppressed, and you are not expressed, you are going to be out of balance, and you're most likely going to lead to disease and problems and illness. That's what happens when you are eating gross foods, you're not taking care of your body, different things that you are putting inside yourself, negative energy, feeding negative thought forms, feeding negative experiences more and more. You are suppressing yourself from expressing what's inside of you. And I'm telling you this right now because most people in the world that we live in will say, no, I'm eating because I'm hungry. When you're eating, you are staying dense. You're staying at a dense level of consciousness. There's, even in me, when I get too high, Letty, when I lift up, I watch my patterns. So when I lift up too much, I'm eating very clean, I'm having a lot of mystical, you know, endeavors happening to me, or, you know, I'm coming to know my nature more, my system will kick back in and tell me to eat something, like, to keep me at a lower level of consciousness, to stay more dense. Why? Because survival happens here. So food that you eat keeps you here at a certain level of density, and it's connected to the emotional level that you are at. You will be equilibrium with the food. That's also why it doesn't make sense when you're in such a high state and you go and eat those type of foods. Your system tells you, what the fuck are you doing? At least mine does. Like, it will just be like, I don't want this, right? But you're going against patterning that you've been ingrained in, so it's challenging in that sense. And then usually I go back into balance. Like today, I'm fasting. After dinner last night, you know, it was just like, what the hell? This morning I woke up, I couldn't tell what it was, and I put on, I knew, because this is how my mind is, I'm sure others are like this. You put something in front of your eyes, the information gives you what you need, and now you make the decision to follow through on it. If I needed to fast, which of course I was rejecting it, I didn't want to fast. I haven't fasted in a couple of, maybe like 2 months, I haven't done a fast, and I was doing it like every week. And I wasn't doing it for the past couple of months, I just didn't want to. I put that information, I said, I know I'm going to fast after this if I put this information in my mind, because as soon as the information is, my rational mind makes the decision to move forward. Basically, I am a self-taught learner. I use the information that it comes into my experience and work with it in order to teach myself. Books and stuff, I use it in my life. It comes in, I use it for my life. My experience that I'm in, you know, not as light as it is all the time, it is giving me information that I use for my life. It's just how my mind is. So as soon as I put the fasting documentary on, I knew I was going to fast today. I didn't want to, but after I watched it, oh yeah, I did. I was like, let's go. I go to the food store, get the fruits. So use your mind as a tool. Stop. Sorry guys, I'm getting really serious. Give me a minute, I'm going to drink my water. Because it's a shame to me when we don't see how our minds are creating reality. And when you start to become very conscious of this, you start to put correct information in because you know it's going to lead you to your goal. If my goal is healing, I'm going to take in healing content that's going to change my mind. I'm going to start doing healing stuff. My whole world's going to become healing. Now think about that when you're watching your influences and stuff. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying the mind is structuring reality, so be aware that you can have more creative power than you are maybe doing thus far. So my point here, the clearest point here that I've recognized is there's room for suppression and there's room for expression, and if you are too out of balance on one side or the other, which is mostly you're too out of balance on suppressing side, if you grew up in my world, in the Western culture, in the world that we live in, you're too out of balance with the suppression side, you need the expression side to come out, and when you stop suppressing, that gives opportunity for the expression to come out, and that's when healing will happen. Because healing really brings balance to the whole being. It takes away problems. Yes, you can get rid of things, you can get rid of tumors, you can get rid of problems in your body, your back pain, and all this stuff. But if you're out of balance in any one direction, you're going to have an issue. Let's say you're too expressive and you're always expressing emotions, you're non-stop, like letting it loose. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of issues. This is when it swings to the chaotic feminine. This is when you go and start fighting with people. This is when you're explosive. This is what I mean. Then what do you need there? You need a suppressant. And it might not look like, shut up, Morgan, don't stop talking. No, like that's not fair to say to yourself. We don't treat ourselves that way. Sorry, that was kind of cold. What I mean is, sometimes it looks just like, stay zen, like, You need your mindfulness in that moment. You need to hold your power and not let it loose. Sometimes it's brute compassion, kind of like, shut up, Morgan. I don't mean to be mean, but sometimes it has to be more aggressive type. And then you see how your system handles that. If your system rejects that completely, you might need the more feminine compassion. It's like, I'm here. I'm listening. You don't have to yell. I'll take care of you, kind of thing. So, you need both. You need balance, y'all. A balance is good, you know? Balance is nice. I'm going to come in with a little bit of balance right now because I know sometimes when I get into personal development topics, I get a little aggressor. But again, like, if I'm going to channel my expression in any way, it's going to be here. Because if I feed my channels anything else, if I feed my energy anywhere else, it will turn into chaotic feminine, like I shared just before. Is that all I need to say? Not perfect, not the best video I've ever made, nope. But, I appreciate you for coming out and for saying what you needed to say, for hearing how you had to be heard, and for speaking the way that you do. Back to my fast now, guys. I'm going 36 hours. So. I'll do what I need to do. And then I'm going away on Monday, so we are on a whole new planet. Seeing the aura rings, seeing the flies. We're in a whole new frequency. You got this.